Tonight's podcast is brought to you by Chef Cuckledee's Imitation Spaghetti.
New from the makers of Instant Cottage Cheese is Chef Cuckledee's Imitation Spaghetti. Chef Cuckledee's Imitation Spaghetti is made from recoagulated pine shavings and 3 other choice ingredients that we aren't legally obligated to disclose. Our savory meat is made from quality varmint afterbirth, and our tangy sauce comes from gently pre-digested tomatoes. Chef Cuckledee's is sure to provide a tasty treat that's easy on the budget.
Ooh, it's Ever Hornbuckle here, and ever since I spent my whole family fortune of $26 on a bunch of scratch-offs and steel reserves, I've been forced to resort to sling my kids and my family imitation spaghetti for about a month now. My kids say so plugged up they don't have to go shit and flush the toilet. Helps me save on the water bill, and every penny saved is a penny Everett earns. Whoop!
Chef Cuckledee's Imitation Spaghetti. So delicious, you won't know it's imitation. Warning, not for consumption by people ages 1 through 150. May cause drooping testicles, dick mites, pussy beetles, goat's butt, multiple sclerosis, harlequin babies, and a love for Kanye West songs. Check local laws and hazmat regulations before ordering imitation spaghetti in your area.
Straight from Daisy Lou, Mississippi.
Oh, Everett's become one of my favorite characters.
Everett's, he lives a pretty serious hard knock.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of life. Anywho, welcome back to our favorite time of week. It's Good Ole Gamers podcast. But kind of a special episode for you tonight, in a weird way. But before that, I guess, I'm Lom Clendon. I'm joined, as always, Brandon Gentry.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
Yep, that is the last time you will say, go fuck yourself in double digits.
That's right.
Episode numbers. Like, this is the kind of the end of an era.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. Tonight is
it's
episode
the
99. Yep. It is
Podpocalypse now.
Maybe we can force Martin Sheen to have a heart attack tonight.
That'd be lovely.
That'd be terrible. It's July 23rd. Like I said, it's episode 99. It is the last episode of double digits. That's saying a lot. Who would have thought that we're gonna hit 100 episodes?
About 2 people.
Yep. God bless their hearts.
Yeah.
Lyle
Poor sons of bitches.
Lyle and Brandon.
Yeah. Our number 1 fans.
Yeah. You know, I like to pat myself on the back all the time.
Yep. The back of my wiener.
Yep. Me too. I guess we're going to do what we normally do. And kick it off with a little bit of news. What very little news there actually is.
There's no news out there. There's not even olds.
The SNES Classic, I seen pre-orders went up on Walmart like yesterday, and they're gone, of course.
Yeah. I want to try to get one in for Game Fest. I want to try to do a raffle there for one. I'm not making promises because that's going to be hard to get.
We'll see, though. That would be sweet. There's going to have to be some sort of like, if we did a raffle for it, there's got to be a certain amount of tickets that has to be sold. I would think, wouldn't you think? You don't want to sell fucking 4 raffle tickets for $20.
Well, what I was thinking is it would be a raffle that comes with entry and advertise that to draw people in. See?
I see what you did there.
And if somebody wants to just, drop $50 on 5 extra tickets, fine by me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Whatever.
I agree.
Yeah.
Cha-ching! You might want to go ahead and check it out while you can. Because I'm sure Nintendo will have their sticky little fingers plucking it from people. But This group of people have come out with an unofficial Super Mario 64 maker.
I did see that. Yeah. Nintendo's loggers, they're already moist and
and wanting.
Yeah.
Apparently, though, I didn't get the exact address to where to download it, but it said you go to YouTube, search for the official trailer for the project on YouTube, and it has a download in either the descriptions or at the end of the video, one of the two.
Nice.
Where you can get. I've seen some of it in action. It was kind of neat. They level I seen, they were building like a fire world, and it was kind of like they were making like a Kaizo Mario 64 thing on a fire world, which just chapped my ass right out the gate. I was just like, man, fuck that shit.
Yeah. That's cool, though.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
I want to see how user-friendly it is.
From what I seen, it looked pretty neat. The only thing that I seen was a problem, like cycling through items and all that. It just had like a text list. You didn't have a picture telling you what you didn't know what you were getting until you scrolled to it. Yeah, you can see it when you scroll to it, but you know.
Yeah. You know, I like Mario Maker, but if I get a Switch and they re-release it on the Switch, which I'm sure they will, I won't be buying it on there. Their fuckery with the online levels is too much.
Yeah, it just... I mean, I finally got it, and I do enjoy it, but it was lacking in a lot of the things I thought it could have been really, like, strong on.
Yeah, and to me, the biggest part was the online thing, because finding kick-ass Mario levels and playing them, to me, is like a dream come true. But all the popular shit is the only stuff you come across, unless you happen across like a Reddit or a forum or something, or someone's posted a good link. And even then, they'll probably take it down before long if not enough people play it.
They'll replace it with a fucking automated music level or something.
Yeah, that was such fucking horseshit.
I agree with you.
Because one thing I loved for making levels is I could pull up my level I made on there and see see how many people played it and see where they all died at.
Yeah.
So that was really cool to me to see like what parts of my level were the hardest.
The fuckery really begins at.
Because I knew my level that I was worked on pretty good was doable because I could do it, but it took some practice to do it. And it was cool to see so many people died at the first fucking jump. I mean, it wasn't that difficult of a jump at first. Just people suck at Mario, and that's why the music levels get upvoted.
Yeah, because you don't have to do shit.
You don't do shit. You're practically playing YouTube. Like you could just look at YouTube and do the same thing.
One thing I didn't care about any of it was the like having to wait to unlock shit and stuff like that, because I still have stuff that I've never unlocked.
You can get around that, change your system's date and time. I did that to unlock everything, but it was still a pain in the ass.
I mean, I understand like wanting to, to give you incentive to play it,
but that was horseshit.
But that's kind of like, it's almost like, well, we got DLC that you don't have to pay for, but you sort of gotta bide your time for it.
Yeah, you gotta play once a week.
Well, fuck you too.
I went through and I altered my date and time. I think I had to do it a couple times, but I got everything unlocked.
I'm really surprised they didn't counteract some measure for you doing that, kind of like Mr. Rossetti in the fucking Animal Crossing series. Yeah. He just comes out of that hole. He's like, I know you goddamn bastards fucked with your clock. He's like, I'm going to wait on you to go to sleep tonight. I'm going to come in there and permeate your asshole with my fucking pickaxe. I about said my Minecraft axe, and I'm like, that's not the correct term for it. Pickaxe. Since we are talking about Nintendo and shit, though, Splatoon 2's out.
Yeah. I've been trying to use that to talk my daughter into the whole switch over.
The switch to Switch?
Yeah. She's been playing Splatoon here lately, and I swear I get such a kick out of watching her play, because She's playing all these. Yeah, I know they're probably grown ass people in like Japan and stuff.
Yeah.
And she's just the fucking terror. It's so funny. She's just running around with a big paint roller, having a blast, and she'll fucking mow down the entire team and just keep on trucking. I mean, she's usually like the number one scoring player, or at least the most kills.
They're on the other team, and like, this is a bad motherfucker right here. Like, I bet you this guy kills people on the way to work every morning.
I just wish I could see like this 8-year-old little girl is just fucking ruining their shit.
That's amazing. Like, it's probably just like butterfly affecting some shit over there.
She didn't even know those were other people. I told her yesterday she's playing it. I said, Serrana, you know that's other people playing, right? She's like, what? I said, yeah, those are other people playing Splatoon online at the same time as you. She's like, oh.
Then she even gets more of like a bloodlust thrill out of it. Like, I believe it's skid marks on their souls.
Now she's asking me about every game she plays. Like, she loaded up Zelda Wind Waker HD. She pointed to one of the NPCs on the starter island walking around. She said, is that another person playing Zelda? I'm like, no, this is a single player game, baby.
She hasn't really fully grasped the idea.
That's a new thing to her, but it was funny. She had no clue. She was just ruining the lives of all these people.
That's awesome. Other children around the world didn't have as nice of a night as you.
Yep.
Because of you. That's pretty amazing. I want to get it. I'm just, it's not something I just have to go fork $60 out for right now. Because, I mean, I still have Splatoon, and if I wanted to, play it, I'm sure there's not that many noticeable differences other than probably like weapons and
I'm sure
environments.
You're going to get a lot of newer shit with the new one, but people are still playing the original. Most of the people in Japan, it seems like, 'cause that's all I saw her playing against. She's like the only English name in the whole list of 10 or so people.
That's a big deal, which I don't Call of Duty's not as big of a deal in Japan, is it? I mean, that's an American thing.
It's funny. She said, it's not fair. And I said, what? She says, my name's the only one that's not in Spanish. I'm like, that's not Spanish, baby. It's Japanese.
Close, but no. Do you got anything?
One thing. Nidhogg 2 is coming out August 15th. And if it...
Get it then.
Yep. If it lives up to its predecessor, it'll be what we run at Game Fest. So, first Nidhogg 2 tournament at Game Fest.
Mr. Hargrove, there you go. There's your chance.
Here's your challenge. You better get some practice. Or, he never practiced on the old one, and he still destroyed.
Just raped. Just put your raping shoes on.
He's like, I'll play this game once a year at Game Fest, and I'll win the tournaments.
When you wake up that morning and you look in your closet at your different pairs of shoes and decide what you want to wear, be sure you make the right choice. Put on your raping shoes.
Yeah. I think he's like our Game Fest champion. He's won the most shit.
Yeah, he's like the old Game Fest lot lizards, what we call him. That's what we call it. That's like the official term for our fan base now, and like the lot lizards. That's what we're gonna start calling our fan base from here on out. Like, he's the king lot lizard.
Yep.
Champion lot lizard.
I know he's won two Nidhoggs. Something else.
He won that Mario speedrun.
Mario speedrun, because I know you got that Retron.
I can say Mario speedrun's going to be different this year.
Is it?
I'm thinking about maybe trying to rig up some sort of Mario decathlon, something real easy that'd be easy to do.
Like what? Do 1, 2, and 3 or something?
Yeah, like maybe you do one thing here and then run over to this and do something here and then jump to this, or I don't know, maybe do a speed run on a different Mario game. Or something, it's just something like change it up a little bit.
While we're throwing out ideas, maybe the first 5 stars on Mario 64. Well, that'd take a little while. 2 stars.
Yeah. I would just let anybody win that would just prove to me that they throw the baby penguin off the side of the map.
Yeah.
Leave the mother penguin to wander the earth.
The first the speed run throwing the penguin off the cliff.
Yes, that's like a requirement. You can't even you're friends with that penguin. You can't even compete here. But there's no point. There's no athletic competition here for you. If you're not willing to throw a penguin off a cliff, then, buddy, you ain't willing to live. Still to this day, I have no regrets for killing that little motherfucker every time I boot that game up. The only other things I really got, I thought was kind of neat. Square Enix gave the developers of A King's Tale Final Fantasy 15 a mock SNES game as like a thank you. It even came complete with the box, though.
I've never been more disinterested in a Final Fantasy since this one. I mean, I tried watching the anime on it, and it was a fucking yawn fest. I've seen nothing about it that really pulled me into it. It's just like, oh, you got cars now. I'm like, yeah. What? Okay.
Yep. Hell, there were cars in Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
Like, yep.
I'll be playing through 10 soon since I got that off eBay for $5.
I've never played 10.
I tried before years and years ago, and I got to the point where you get this guy on your team who's like, he uses a volleyball as a weapon, and I put it down. I couldn't deal with that stupidity. But I'm gonna try to force my way through it, and I'm just gonna kick him off the team as soon as I can.
I'm just gonna reach back and kick him right in the fucking balls.
Kick his volleyballs.
Comic-Cons, well, before I say that, the Tory box, you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Because that's something people are going kind of buck wild over.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned this before, but
yeah.
I think...
they didn't have an official announcement.
Yeah.
They do now, but...
Yeah, I saw an article on Forbes where the authors are going, oh, Atari is possibly going to upset the video game economy right now. I'm like, no, they're not.
It's like everybody's saying, the new Sega Genesis Classic from Act Games that they've only been making for the past 5 years.
Yeah. They made it in response to the NES Classic 3 years in advance.
Dude, this sounds like a great news from the future thing one day. It's going to be like, hello, here I'm Clark Dixon with the new PS4 Classic.
Oh, God. That's going to be a thing one day.
Yeah. Yeah. The Nintendo Switch Classic. But anyway, I'm sorry. But yeah, the Atari box. It's pretty much like they're saying it's going to be a mixture of SNES Classic and like an Android, I guess.
Yeah,
console,
it's touted to have like PC level hardware, which is fine, but that doesn't mean it's going to be top of the line machine. I mean, I've got PC level hardware in my closet that my phone's more powerful than, so that doesn't tell you a whole fucking lot. It just means they're using off the shelf shit that's PC level. That means it's not using a shitty mobile processor like in a phone, which is fine. That's good by me. I think they're going to capitalize more on like the old Namco games you're seeing all over Android now, that kind of thing. It's going to be more like a Ouya because the modern console market it's saturated. I don't see any real place for them there. I think they see the NES Classic and the SNES Classic, and they see money signs. People are going for that kind of thing, and they're gonna give you that plus new shit, basically.
What's like what we talked about last week too about nostalgia driving everything. Like that's why all these companies are upstarting shit. Yeah, that's why Matt Kennedy tried upstarting this shit. It's all nostalgia driven. Yep. Which I know in no way was I relating those two together. I was just saying, like, that's the kind of breeding environment you have right now. Yeah. And, I don't know, we'll see what happens from it. I don't expect anything earth-shattering like some of these people letting on. It's not. Okay. This isn't the first Atari endeavor. They've farmed it out, Was it At Games that did the Atari flashback? Yeah. It was. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know who's doing this hardware for them. I doubt they started up their own hardware. They haven't announced any of that yet. I don't believe. I seriously doubt they started up their own hardware wing after being a holdings company for so long. So they probably just got an idea, farmed it out the specs and shit, and here we go. They're probably like, we bought 455 Raspberry Pis, make us some consoles. Yeah, and they're like, yes, sir. I'm making the new Atari that's already kind of technically pre-made when it gets here.
Yeah.
But I'm a master assembler. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Comic-Con's going on, and one cool thing I want to say about Comic, there was some real cool shit, like especially on the toy front. They announced an action figure line that's coming out that I have to have. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. I have to have it because it blends the two most prominent things on my shelves in there. They have Ninja Turtles Ghostbusters figures coming out.
Oh, shit.
Fucking badass. It's cash. It's a cash-in thing, of course, but nonetheless.
Heroes in a photon pack.
That'd be badass. Oh, and also they have a full replica pack coming out for like $70 this year.
Huh.
So finally I can afford one to have like a costume quality proton pack. And it lights up and everything.
Nice.
But they unveiled the trailer for Steven Spielberg's new movie Ready Player One.
I saw that. I don't know.
It's kind of weird, man. Like I've never read the book. So is that book kind of like Imagination Land, like on South Park?
I don't know.
Because did you notice in the trailer there's characters from all kinds of Terminator in that one scene. It's the
Iron Giant.
Did you notice who the Terminator shoots out of the air when it's jumping through there? Freddy fucking Krueger.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, because I was just immediately like, well, somebody make a Freddy versus Terminator crossover. That'd be stupid as fuck.
Yeah, it would.
It'd be like, Skynet's having dreams. Nightmares, to be correct.
Yeah, it'll look like another CGI fuckfest too, though. So I'm not sure. I'll wait and see. I don't want to hate it out the gate.
I always have faith in Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, he's done pretty solid over the years.
I wasn't
a huge fan of what was it?
Lincoln.
God damn it! Basically, he tried to redo E.T., but like modern.
Oh, are you thinking about
number something? I can't think of
Super
the name.
8.
Super 8.
That's not Steven Spielberg.
I thought that was Spielberg.
J.J. Abrams.
I thought Spielberg did it too.
He produced it. Well, you're right though. I mean, producers have just as much fucking.
Well, either way,
it was still an Amblin movie.
I was expecting that to be a good movie, and it was not. It was, hey, let's try to let's make E.T. look like the Hulk, but still make it an E.T. movie.
Yes, that's one thing I didn't understand about that movie. It goes around and kills everybody else in the town, but it spares the little boy at the end.
Yeah.
It's just like, finally I got enough shit to put my garbage can of a fucking spaceship back together. Get the fuck out. All you white people are fucking crazy. Yeah, that's exactly what that movie was.
It just uses alien technology to like gather in all the imitation spaghetti cans throughout town and make a spaceship.
He just, in the last line of the movie, he just looks at little kids like, I know your mom's dead and all, but stop being a pussy and you'll fuck that blonde girl. He climbs into the ship and he's like, bitches, and just like fires off. That might be a good overdub.
Yeah.
All the imitation. The fucking gas buildup on the inside of those imitation spaghetti cans probably gave him enough propulsion and thrust to exit our atmosphere. It can only be imitation spaghetti cans. They could, pretty sure imitation spaghetti cans in a absolute survival environment can be used as a flotation device.
Yeah.
A wise man once told me that. I guess it's all those quality pre-digested tomatoes.
Yes. Gently pre-digested.
Very gently.
Not harshly pre-digested.
But anyways. I guess that concludes news.
Yep.
We really don't have a whole shit ton prepared for tonight.
No.
Or I don't, at least.
I don't either because one of the games I've been playing is hard as fuck. And I still haven't gotten very far in it. But I'm going to talk about it because I can't keep putting it off.
Nice.
first game I'm talking about tonight is, I mentioned this last week, is Blackthorn on the Super Nintendo. It's one of Blizzard Entertainment's earliest games before they became assholes with World of Warcraft, and back when they made pretty good games like Diablo and cool shit like that. Lost Vikings, it's another cool one on the Super Nintendo.
That's an underrated one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a real nice puzzle game. Blackthorn is more along the lines of Another World or Out of This World.
Flashback, yeah.
Yeah, where you control a character and it controls more realistic than anything else on the Super Nintendo, I guess. It's not like Mario or anything. It's not arcadey. You can't jump in there and change directions.
The physics are a little more realistic.
Yeah,
aren't they?
To a degree. That also makes it feel a little clunky, which it took me a little while to kind of discern the two apart.
You have to, my dog's running amok.
And dogs are assholes.
Dogs are assholes.
I hate my dog. It's destroying my house slowly. It's becoming a giant fur ball, and I hate it.
Destroying your house and will.
Yeah. It controls like that, and it's very unforgiving with the controls, and that, or I guess you could say it's very rigid. Whereas, anytime you press left or right to move your character, it moves one set amount of space. It's not like you can't nudge him to an edge. It's almost like based on tiles. If you press over, he's going to move a full...
One tile at least.
Yeah, one
guaranteed.
tile. Yeah. So there's no in-between shit. And if you press jump and you didn't want to jump, too late. You're jumping. You can't wheel that shit back. That fucked me a few times where I pressed the wrong button and I jumped to my death.
I just imagine you've done all this shit to get ahead, then you just come to the edge, you're just like, fuck it.
Yeah. Before I get too far ahead of myself, I want to play the intro to it. Very ominous, like an 80s
very
dark action movie. That's the intro to the menu.
Very Blade Runner-ish.
Yeah. The
remix.
Yeah, it's going to more. The story is very 80s dark action movie-ish. It's played. It reminds me a lot of another side story to heavy metal. You know how the Lochnar would go from world to world, and so this seems like another instance that we didn't get to see on heavy metal.
Nice. Another tale.
Yeah, the story takes place on the planet Tool, where
the planet Tool.
Tool, Tuul.
Oh, I just imagine Tool, the band.
Oh, God.
We finally got our own planet. I'm like, what a shitty place.
Yeah. But it's all it starts off showing all these monsters, and they're asking the big bad guy Sarlacc, another heavy metal sounding name,
Very, very Star Wars.
Yeah, Sarlacc. Yep. He's about to take down King Vlaros, something. He's making his last stand tonight, and go forth and pillage and rape and conquer. And then it cuts over to King Vlaros, and he's got his court wizard there, and his young son who's 8 or 10, somewhere around there. His son Kyle, and
fuck you, Kyle.
He's like, yeah, we're about to die, so this wizard's going to send you to another world, and the wizard sends him to Earth. Where,
good job, wizard.
Yeah. So Kyle spends the next 20 years on Earth, and I read on the Wikipedia that he spent time as a mercenary and shit, which makes sense because you're playing a badass action hero type dude. But in the SNES game, you just see him hitchhiking on the side of a road, and this little orb of light comes down above him and just vaporizes him and whisks him away to the planet Toll again. So at least that story was not there. Maybe it was in the instruction book or something. I don't know.
It's that hyper-futuristic technology at work there, man.
And you start off in the mines of Galadriel, which is kind of a Lord of the Rings reference. So I want to play that music now. I still haven't got out of these mines. I've gotten quite a ways into them, but I have not gotten out of it. Very ominous, though.
It sounds like the music that plays in movies when, like, the final solution's been thought out.
Yeah.
This ends tonight.
But yeah, the combat in the game pretty much consists of using his shotgun, which you get upgrades throughout the game for. Which I've only found one upgrade, but I'm assuming there's going to be more. And using items that you pick up, and it's pretty much hide and seek based or duck and cover based. It reminds me of the new game Not a Hero, which I think I covered a long time ago, where you basically press up and your character hides in the environment, in the background environment. That's what happens here. Like your Kyle, he kind of holds his gun up and moves back, and you see the shadow kind of covers him, and the enemies do that too. So like most of the game, like most of these enemies, they look like orcs with shotguns too. As soon as you come in the room and they see you, they'll automatically hide. And you know you need to do that too, because they'll pop out and start shooting. And you pretty much got to wait for them to unload, and they'll cock their gun. That's when you pop out and blow their ass off. Yeah. There's also enemies that can't be hurt by your gun. One in the mines is this big, I guess he's like a taskmaster. Looks like a big half rhino orc guy that uses a whip. And your gun don't do shit to you. To him, he literally laughs at you when you shoot him with a gun. So you got to use these mine bombs on him, and that kills him. It's the game isn't really puzzle based, but it is. You do got to conserve your items, because like if you waste all your mine bombs, you'll get to a spot where you got to blow open the door, and you're just shit out of luck. You got to restart from your last password spot, which is a password based game. So if you die, you start all the way back to where you got the last password at. And that's one of the things that makes it a huge bitch, is at first, the first few times, passwords come pretty quick. And after that, it's like a fucking gauntlet of memorization. You got to know where all the enemies are, what you need to do to get past it, and, what items you need, where you got to go, that kind of thing. So it's like you'll go to the last spot where you died, overcome that obstacle because you know you're expecting it now, and then go to the next room or two and get killed by some kind of fuckery, or there's a lot of
trial and error.
There's a lot of hard jumps in the game. This game is not, like I said, it's not very forgiving on jumps, because you can run and jump at the same time, and it makes you do a long jump. And it almost feels like there's a delay, but it's because it's using that tile-based movement. If you don't hit it just fucking right while you're running, you'll jump short, or you won't jump soon enough, and you'll fall to your death. It fucking sucks.
That seems like that would frustrate the shit
It has
out
been.
of me.
It got to where I'm coming home from work, and I'll try 2-3 lives, and then I'll play something else. So it's just going to be one of the things where I try a little bit at a time. I found, too, the password system's actually really convenient in this day and age, because I could just take a picture of it with my phone. I could be on my lunch break at work and load up on the emulator or whatever. I got my password there and kind of take a save around with me without having to transport files,
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's nifty. It's unintended convenience from the 90s.
From the past.
Yep. I am really enjoying the game, but it is very difficult. I know there's guides and shit you can use, and that probably makes it a lot easier. But to me, using guides, especially for a game like this, turns it into like a laundry list. I'd rather enjoy figuring out the game myself than do X, Y, and Z and be ready for A, B, and C. And I don't.
But it takes a lot of the enjoyment of playing a game out of it.
Yeah, like I'll reference a guide in games if like I'm stuck at one spot and I just cannot figure it out, and I've been stuck there for a long time. I might use a guide to get past that point and continue enjoying the game. But I remember growing up, there's tons of kids who'd get the strategy guides, and that's
right out the bat.
Yeah,
man. Like I remember people playing Ocarina of Time and having the strategy guide. And, like, just using the guide to play through it. And I'm like, that's so fucking pointless.
I could understand it if you want to use it to like, find all the Scortellos or whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine. But
for completionist purposes, you know.
But hell, at least the first time,
just
play yourself. Reference a guide if you absolutely must, but enjoy the game.
Well, that's like part of it, you know. Like, you're spending that much money on a game, you kind of want to immerse yourself in the world and figure shit out. You don't want to. That's like reading spoilers before going and watching a movie, you know. Now,
one game I will say is a little different on is Pokemon. Though getting a guide for Pokemon before the internet was a thing or was really popular was pretty good. Not because everybody knows how to get through Pokemon. Those games, the adventure itself isn't nothing.
Yeah,
but the guy to know all the Pokemon that's in there so he can plan on what teams he want, that's useful.
Yeah, and like guides for fighting games and shit to learn moves.
Yeah, learn all your moves, because you couldn't press start and see a move list. You just had to press buttons and maybe it worked.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing was like a guide from Mortal Kombat where you get the fatalities.
Yeah.
I had a little Mortal Kombat 3 guidebook, and I'd take that to school and start memorizing fatalities and shit.
I still got my Mortal Kombat 2 and my Part 3 pocket code book.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I still reference that shit every now and then if I'm in there playing and want to try to remember a combo or a move or something. It's handy to have.
Yep. Yeah, that kind of thing's a little different, but for adventure games and stuff, I don't like it turns it into a mundane task instead of a game. So, anyways, side rant. I do recommend Blackthorn if you enjoy games like that. It almost reminds me of a point-and-click adventure without any pointing and clicking. It's very, trial and error based to a certain extent. You'll get items and you'll see places where you could use them, but you got to kind of judge for yourself where it's best to use it at. It's pretty good. It's definitely not something that you want to spend hours in at a time because you pull your hair out. I mean, look at me, I'm bald.
This game single-handedly ruined Brandon's hairline.
Yeah. But yeah, what have you been playing?
Well, I come across a bunch of Atari shit that I didn't even want, but it just kind of got forced my hand. And one of the games that was in it, I've been playing. I've logged quite a bit of time on. It's called Computer War.
And it's a tape game, you said?
No,
is that a cartridge game?
Yeah, it's a cartridge game. I got a few tape games. I got one cassette program for the Atari 400 there that helps you make pie charts.
Nice.
How exciting. But this game, it's based on the old movie War Games. You know, like
I know that.
I think Matthew Broderick is in it.
Is that the teenager hacking and shit? Is that
it? It's like, would you like to play a game?
Yeah.
And it like sets off all the nukes or whatever. Yeah. Well, that's what you do in this game is you've accidentally tripped this computer program and it sets you up on like a fucking NORAD screen, essentially like the main game screen. It's very simple, but I was actually surprised at how fun it is. Sets you up on like a big map of America. And it'll show you 5 different bases around America that'll start out, and the bases will be little like purple squares. Well, you'll see little white blips start appearing on the map moving toward them, and that's missiles. And the control, it's on Atari 400 or 800, but it uses the Atari controller and the keyboard. What you do is you use the controller, and you have a little square cursor. You move that over the blips, the missiles. Whichever one's closer to a base is where you want to go first. Well, you go there and click it, and it scans the area, and if there's a missile in it, it takes you to a first-person scene where you have to manually track the missile down. It'll have like a little flashing square on either side and a sound beep. They'll tell you which way to go. Well, for example, if it's on the right side, you go toward the right, and it'll beep, 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 beep. And as soon as you get on it, it'll be just like a solid beep. And the missile will either fly by in the background or in the foreground, whatever, and you have cannons, and you have to line it up or down, and wait on the missile to come by and shoot it down.
That sounds pretty cool.
It's pretty neat, but like I said, it's real basic, but you shoot all 5... if you manage to shoot all 5 missiles down without one hitting one of the bases, it goes to another part of the game where it brings up a bunch of grids on the screen. And you're hacking the computer is what you're doing. It'll give you an image, and you have to go through there, and it's all black and white squares making up the image. And for example, if you got 3 rows of 3 bars, there's 3 black bars in the first row and 2 in the second row and 3 black in the third row. Pretty much you just got 2 white dots in the middle. Well, if they're standing straight up on the picture you're having to pick shit from, it may be rotated. And you have to hit the select button on the keyboard to rotate the image. Pretty much you have to it's hard to explain. You look through this whole grid, though, and you find the matching squares to the picture I give you, and you have to rotate it and just make it match.
Okay.
You do that 5 times per level. Each one you do, it deactivates one, base. You have to deactivate every base in each level to go to the next round. That's how you get your points. And if you don't respond quick enough, missiles will hit the bases, and you have, I think, 4 chances to get hit, and then it's over. It'll be like DEFCON 5, then it'll go to DEFCON 4, and then when you get down to 1, it'll just be like, nuclear war cannot be avoided.
Yeah.
Game over. It's real simple, but I mean, it's fun, and it's. I don't find many Atari games I'm able to pick up and play for a straight hour.
Yeah.
At a time.
A lot of them are in small bites, really.
Yeah. This one, I had a game going for about an hour straight the other night.
Nice.
And I finally died and was just like, God damn it. And, because you get up there and I guess it was round 3 or 4 I'd got to, man, that shit starts getting, it's like playing Missile Command on the highest setting. You'll have fucking 6 and 7 different missiles coming in at once. And they're moving so quick, I'm sure somebody can. I can't fucking shoot them down quick enough.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyways. That's pretty much the gist of what I've been playing.
Well, I've also been playing, I got Rogue Squadron on the Nintendo 64 off eBay, and I've been playing that as well, because that's one of my favorites on the N64. And in some ways, it holds up every bit as much as I loved it, and in a couple ways, it don't. It's funny how you don't remember the drawbacks of games like that.
Yeah.
But it's a game where it's set, I think it's set after New Hope, but before the next one. Because it's Luke Skywalker starts the Rogue Squadron, and you're playing as Luke Skywalker, and you go through a series of different missions. I beat the game a long time ago, but it's been since I was a child since I beat it, so I'm working on beating it again. I'm probably 8 levels or so into it, but it's a flight game. But instead of being a point A to point B flight shooter game like Star Fox is, it's like I would say it's more like an arena. You got a big area of the map that your mission is taking place in, and they vary in size and shape. It just depends on the level. But it's very objective based, whereas the closest analog on N64 is Star Fox. Star Fox is pretty much get through the level, fight the boss, get through the level, fight the boss. This is go here and get to this city and destroy all the probe drones, and then protect the Y Wings while they're bombing. And
very specific.
Yeah, there's no. I'm pretty sure eventually there's boss-like battles, but so far there's not. I don't remember there is any kind of real boss battle, boss wave. This game reminds me of why escort missions suck so much shit in video games. It is one of the worst games for escort missions.
Especially any escort mission on PlayStation or N64 era, like,
they were awful
or bad.
And this is no exception, because whereas even some of the older games, escort missions took place along 1 to 2 planes of axis, where you pretty well knew where your escort target was at all times. On this, you got 3 axes that 3 dimensions of space that it could be in. Good fucking luck, and the draw distance in this game is very short. So if it flies, a few seconds ahead of you, who fucking knows? It may be that green dot on the radar, is it? Maybe not. Who knows? It is really frustrating because, like I said, you have to escort the Wild Wings, protect them. They'll just be like, "Where's our cover, Rogue Squadron?" And I'm like, well, I don't know. Where the fuck are you?
Yeah, like, am I the only one out here doing the goddamn thing?
Yeah.
Like,
and they'll just fucking die. And
there's no I in Squadron here, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like,
the best thing I know to do is just seek out the red dots on the radar, shoot them down. It varies from ground units like what's the 2-legged ones? Is ATST?
ATSTs, yeah.
They're pretty common. Some different variations. I'm not up to snuff on all my Star Wars stuff. There's also the AT-ATs, the 4-legged ones, which are awesome when you're on the speeder levels. You get to do the tow cable thing. You fly around in a circle like 3 times, I believe, and take them down. And then you can come back and blow up their head like in the movie. So, I mean, that's just like bonus right there.
That is one of my favorite things about Shadows of the Empire on N64.
Oh, yeah.
Like, entry level, getting the tow cable, the fucking AT-ATs.
Yeah. That's real satisfying. You got a handful of vehicles you can use in the game. You got the whole alphabet here. X-Wing, Y-Wing, V-Wing, A-Wing. Then you got...
Where's the W-Wing at?
Yeah. There's also the Speeder. And I know you can do the Millennium Falcon at one point. I remember that as a kid. And I also remember there's codes to do lowriders. Like lowrider vehicles flying through the air. But I haven't fucked with that yet. The controls are really good on it, but it's less arcaded than Star Fox. Star Fox, he has all the barrel rolls and the loop-de-loop stuff. He can do like a 180 in this, but it takes a little bit more thought. It's not just like bump 2 buttons and,
Yeah.
There's no lock-on in this game like Star Fox has, and it almost needs it. I mean, I hate to say that you need something that helps you so much, but it's really fucking hard to lead your target in that game, especially with the draw distance the way it is, and of course coupled with the low resolution of the N64. All you see ahead for a distant TIE fighter is just like a couple blurry pixels. And like, well, I think I'm leading it. Some kind of lock on would really help with shit like that. But overall, it's pretty solid. I brought some more music in for Rogue Squadron.
It almost sounds like a dramatic court show.
Yeah.
Tonight, Matlock faces his most primitive case yet. Does a good job of capturing that Star Wars feel.
It does. The whole game is filled with orchestrated Star Wars music like that. Overall, I mean, it's like a $5 game, tops.
There's 3 Rogue Squadrons, is there not?
I think so.
Rogue Leader is the GameCube one, I think.
There's also, I think Rogue Squadron 2 is also on GameCube. I think there's only one on the 64. I'm not 100% though.
I can't remember neither. I know there's multiple ones of that.
Yeah. And
I want to say they only got better as they went.
To my knowledge, it's they did only get better with time. I still really love this game. I'm going to play it through, and I'll probably talk about it some more down the road. But I definitely recommend picking it up. It's a $5 game that you can pick up just about anywhere, and it can get a lot of fun out of it.
Oh yeah, those $5 games, man. There's a lot of fun to be had in them, and people pass them up just because they ain't worth nothing.
Right? Yeah, there's no collector value there, but it's still a great fucking game for its time.
One other thing I wanted to inject that I did get to play this weekend, I took a late night run to Pints and Pixels last night and noticed they have a fucking Sky Cursor machine out on the floor now.
I wish we could have got that interview through with them guys.
I do too. I played a couple levels that we didn't play at Southern Fried, and man, that
is it a full release now, or is it still like a beta build?
I don't really know. There was 5 different levels you could choose on that one last night. The boss I fought on it was a giant green hand. I was trying to remember. It was 2 green hands, and one of them, Julius Caesar. One of them's name was Julius, and the other's name was Caesar. And it was called the Boxing Twins. And so these 2 green hands would shoot lasers and shit out of their hands and all kinds of projectiles, and then they'd just start boxing across the fucking screen. And
nice.
Shit.
I really love how out there the enemies got on that. I mean, it was very 90s, like psychedelic shit.
It is so 90s, like fucking alt rocky.
Yeah,
like got that kind of, well, not alt rock, kind of got like a thrash metal soundtrack.
I really hope they do a Steam release eventually. I want that on my cabinet.
The sword, being able to deflect attacks on that shit is so much fun too. Because at one point last night, I had like 4 enemies shooting these green orbs at me last night, and I was just like juggling 4 of them at once and just shooting the fuck out of everything else. And I was like, that is so satisfying.
It is. That's one of the things I really loved about that Stardust Galaxy Warrior something Stellar Climax. I really tried to get that working on my cabinet, but it does not like my controls, and it only lets one player happen on the keyboard, so a keyboard remapping wouldn't work. So that didn't happen. But yeah, I really love that melee aspect in a side-scrolling shooter like that.
It adds like a whole other tactical advantage to it.
Yeah, it does.
But it's a good one. I would like to see a release of that as well.
Yeah,
even like a release on PS4 or something. That would be so much fun to.
I'm sure eventually. I mean, they mentioned that they've considered doing it, after they've made all the money they can make on the arcade side. Which, I don't blame them there. They're trying to cater to an arcade market. If it's just a Steam game that you can just go get anywhere, it's not going to have the draw that it does.
You want to be the first arcade-only game to exist in X amount of years, you know, like that. Anyways, American-made, I guess, arcade.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, though.
I agree. Well, what we got now? We got some music to listen to?
We got some music to listen to. I brought in some goddamn music.
Let us listen.
Yep.
I still, every time we say let us listen, I just think about the little praying icon on fucking ActRaiser where it'll be like, you can check in on your fucking peasantly mortals and it'll be like, let us listen. And be like, because listen's all you're going to do if I'm God. Because I'm doing all the talking.
Yep. Yeah, I brought this in from, I would say this is my favorite 2D platformer of all time, Earthworm Jim.
Uh-oh.
I brought in the Mega Drive Genesis version of this song because I've come to appreciate more the Genesis version over time. Because, I mean, it was the original version and then they released on SNES, even though I grew up with the Super Nintendo version. The Super Nintendo does have some definite advantages to it. A lot of the music it didn't get quite right, surprisingly, because usually Super Nintendo's better music.
Yeah,
it does have generally better backgrounds and things like parallax scrolling, cool shit like that. The resolution, though, I've noticed between Super Nintendo and Genesis, I keep wanting to say Mega Drive, for American was Genesis.
America.
The resolution of the Super Nintendo is slightly smaller, so. How they ported a lot of games from Genesis to Super Nintendo is they just essentially squished the resolution down, which made the graphics look slightly like shorter and fatter.
Yeah.
And as you see those side by side, you can notice Earthworm Jim looks a little fatter in Super Nintendo. It doesn't look quite right when you see
more
the
squashed.
Yeah, I really want to get a Sega CD just for the Sega CD version because it's like the best version.
Oh yeah,
because it's got like all the bells and whistles that the Super Nintendo has, plus the
music is like
music.
so flawless on it.
Yeah. This song, I mean, it's hard choosing a song out of Earthworm Jim. All of it's good. I mean, I recommend just looking up a YouTube playlist of all the Earthworm Jim music. It's all fucking good. But this song here is the music that starts when you get to the last level, and you got to descend through this spiky maze of bullshit. On Super Nintendo, I'm pretty sure it's called Use Your Head. On Genesis, it's called The Descent. But you're basically going to Queen Slug for Butt's lair on your way to rescue Princess What's Your Name. I fucking love that shit.
Yeah.
And you pretty much use Earthworm Jim's propeller head power to descend all the way through this maze of spikes that fuck you up. And it doesn't take much to throw you off and get killed quick.
Very difficult.
It is one of the hardest parts of the game. But the music it plays, it gets you so fucking zoned in and ready to do this shit. I love it. Here it is.
It ends tonight.
It ends tonight.
It makes you think of a montage of somebody just like lacing up his Nikes.
Yeah.
Tying on a headband. It's like looking off a mountain range. That's good. Hit him with a breakdown.
Yep.
I really like that buzzed out ass bass line.
Yeah. That's one thing that this Genesis does way better than the Super Nintendo.
It has that way more guttural.
That fucking this nasty sounding bass.
Bow.
Like if I had to pick an old system to make bit music corn on, it would be the Genesis.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Nasty fucking guitar sound.
That does sound like a corn song.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I was a little shorter than that.
That's all good. The point of that segment is to
Listen.
Let us listen.
But yeah, I fucking love that. I love all the music. New Junk City, the first level, is fucking classic as hell. The Andy
I was
Asteroids.
going to say that's the banjo music,
that,
right?
I almost picked that for our intro music when we first started this because it was so fucking awesome.
That is good shit. That would have made a really good intro.
Yeah. But I was worried,
legality.
All three people who listen to this, one of them might be a lawyer that fucks us.
You motherfucker. Well,
yeah, it's Earthworm Jim. Definitely check out them. Even the second one has a great soundtrack.
I'm really surprised they still have not revitalized Earthworm Jim yet.
I know part of it is Earthworm 64 was a fucking failure.
Yeah.
And that's also because the original crew wasn't working on it. I can't remember the guy's name. The main creator of it, it's like Tenapple or something. I don't remember. He did the cartoon and stuff too. I love the cartoon. Did you ever watch it?
I did. I've seen some of them.
I got all of them. If anybody wants copies, I will gladly share them. My kids love them. They never even played the game before they saw that. And I mean, hell, Earthworm Jim is voiced by Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
They're fucking great. Like, the humor to this day is still good. It's that real funky, quirky ass humor.
I'm gonna borrow them from you at some point. I don't remember many of them. I remember one where... No, never mind. I don't remember shit, I guess. I remember one where he uses snot like a backpack or something, like in the game. Or
on Earthworm Jim 2, snot's used a lot. He's... I don't remember. Are you talking about the cartoon? Yeah. There's a few episodes. They had a lot of small skits in that show too. Like I think one regular one they had was like lifestyles of the rich and villainous, and they'd interview like the bad guys in there.
Nice.
And one of my favorite scenes though was it looked like Earthworm Jim and Peter Puppy were eating at it. It looks like a Waffle House. And they were just eating, and it was the International House of Haggis. And, and Earthworm Jim, he's chowing down into it. He's like, "What's haggis?" And Peter Puppy says, "Oh, it's just only the heart, liver, and lung of a sheep boiled in his own stomach." And Jim starts vomiting, I believe it was. This is funny.
Well, that's the truth. I mean, technically, you're an earthworm. You've eaten shit before, so I imagine you've eaten worse things.
I would love if they brought back they got to do 2D, 3D. Fuck
oh
that.
yeah,
and just bring back redo it, make a new game. You don't just put out the other one again.
They don't do a fucking HD plus remaster.
Do a whole new game with HD 2D graphics. That would be, man, I would jizz my pants for days.
Do a true Earthworm Jim 3D or Earthworm Jim 3. Yeah,
I remember the dude who made Earthworm Jim. Again, I can't remember his name. Is Tenapple or something? Is it odd name? Anyways, he said he wouldn't work on it unless he had all the rights to it again, because how badly it got fucked up with N64.
Yeah, what was even the thing with 64? Didn't he get knocked out or something? You're like in his subconscious or some shit? I
don't remember. It was I couldn't play that game very much. It was just too awful to play. I was so disappointed.
I never even attempted.
That's one of the biggest disappointments in my life. It was.
I never even attempted it because I remember people just, scathing it, being like it's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Now, I seen a thing, and I think it was GamePro magazine or something one time where they put it up there next to like Bubsy 3D and shit, and I was like, damn, man. Like,
it's not Superman 64 broken, but it's just awful. It's bad game design.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But like you said, though, it was a completely different crew that worked on that. Right.
I think any of the originals that were involved were like, hey, call me for... my suggestion, the type deal. They weren't involved hands-on.
We're kind of like the shadow producers at this point.
Yeah, they were like on retainer. Hey, if we got a style question, we might call you and consider your suggestions, but you're fucked out of it.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's such a bad end. It's such a great series.
It'll come back at some point, because I think video games are going to kind of be like movies. They're going to get so starved for shit at some point. They're just going to start reactivating a bunch of these old IPs. Which, I mean, they already do that, but, like, not some of the ones we want to see.
Yeah, and I want to see actual Earthworm Jim. I don't want to see a Kickstarter for Earthworm Jim adjacent character like Ukulele was done for Banjo-Kazooie. I mean, that game looks fine. I don't know much about it, but I want Earthworm Jim.
You don't want to see like Garden Grub Randall.
Yeah.
That sounds like the shittiest character. Garden Grub Randall. God damn it. Fucking Millworm Pete.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, Millworm Dudley. Dudley the Millworm. Yeah, just don't have that same ring.
No. All the characters, Jim, the bad guys, Peter Puppy, all that shit. To me, that's all part of it.
Yeah.
If it ain't got the IP, I don't want nothing to do with it.
What was the bad guy that's got the dead monkey?
Professor Monkey for Head.
Oh, Monkey for Head. I was gonna say Monkey. I
love how simple they keep that shit. Queen's Log for Professor Monkey for a Head, and then the Crow is Psycho. Then Major Snot was the snot guy.
Yeah.
Bob the Fish. Evil the Cat.
Evil the Cat was the one that carried Bob the Fish, right?
No, that was... I don't know if that thing had a name. Evil the Cat was the little cat that was in the hell level that you had to fight. You had 9 lives you had to get through.
Fuck that thing.
Dude, the worst thing in that level was the lawyers. They were a bitch.
That's life, though.
Yeah, that's life.
The lawyers will get you.
I love that, though. In that hell level, I almost brought in that music because it starts off with that hellistic sound of music, and that dun 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 dun.
Yeah,
and then it just record scratching goes to elevator music because that's what you hear in hell all the time is elevator music.
That would be rough. If it's not bad enough that you're stuck in hell burning, it's like, here's a little Kenny G to ease that burn.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Satan. He's like, don't mention it. Now, don't forget, we're fucking at 5. Shit. Well, do we got any calls?
We do. Our buddy Bill called in.
No stone earthen pussies for us to wallow in this week.
You can give us a call, 682-777-4663. That's 682-777-GOOD.
Yep.
See what old Bill's up to.
Hey, boys, what's happening? It's Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Sorry, it's been a while. Been busy with the driving over the road thing, but, I had an idea for a new segment you guys could do. At the end of every show, have somebody call in and just recommend a game, whether you guys have played it or not, and then you guys would make said game your homework for the next week, and then you guys could talk about it, review that game the following week on the show. Just thought it might be a fun idea. Maybe have it sponsored by Boner Factory Films, The Misadventures of Punch Cash Hard. I told Lyle that shit slaved me. But yeah, anyway, talk to you guys soon. All right, later.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
If you want us to do a game, call in and say, hey, do this fucking game, or I'm going to punch you in the dick.
Bill's been on my ass for a couple years to play Eternal Darkness, and I still have never played those games, and I really need to find a copy of that, preferably for less than $50 to $60. It even may be more than that now. I don't know. Isn't it called Eternal Darkness Requiem?
I think
something?
So. Yeah, it looks like a real solid game, but yeah, the price on that's also really solid.
It's like that Rule of Rose, or I think it's Rule of Rose. It's a horror game for PS2, and everybody I've talked to says it's really good, but it's like a $200 game. I'm
going to be hacking some Wii's for Game Fest, so I can play GameCube ISOs off of SD card, and I might use that.
Nice.
Because hooking up a 360 controller to a PC to emulate GameCube sucks. That GameCube controller makes or breaks it. It's kind of like N64. Yeah. I don't emulate N64 games on.
Yeah, I learned the hard way on Wii U. I bought Super Mario 64, and it's almost impossible to play at certain points.
The camera...
so fucky.
And it's even
That's the only word for it. It is fucky as fuck.
And it's even worse on Ocarina of Time. I got that on Wii U as well. Using the right analog stick for the C buttons, man, it'll select the wrong shit all the fucking time.
Oh, man. That would suck in a pinch. You need to, click over to something.
Yeah, it did suck.
I didn't think about that. That really surprised that they haven't, released like a retro N64 controller for like Virtual Console and shit like that.
Yeah. You can get USB ones, but the quality's And, I guess if you really wanted to, you could. But
we'll have the N64 Classic for too long, so we can just use those controllers.
The emulation of N64 is really hit and miss, too. So
yeah,
I usually don't emulate that system very much.
I'm going to get a lot of flack for saying this, but to me, N64 is kind of hit or miss.
It is.
I loved that thing because I was fortunate enough, being a spoiled kid, my grandparents got it for me when it first came out, and I loved it. I mean, you had an N64 too. Loved it back in the day, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like, it just didn't have the game content that it should have had.
Even though it did have a handful of best games of all time.
Oh, I agree.
It's weird how that happened.
Fucking GoldenEye,
Mario 64,
Banjo-Kazooie. I'm not a big fan of Banjo-Kazooie, but that's still a masterpiece game.
Star Fox 64, still the definitive Star Fox.
Mario Party. Started on there.
Yeah. But then there's also a bunch of just games that failed to do the 3D thing.
Yeah.
So, fuck Diddy Kong Racing, Mario Kart, Mario Kart was fun on the Super Nintendo when that's all there was. But when Mario Kart 64 came around, it's like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah. It just blew everything else out of the water.
I can't go back to SNES Mario Kart. It is too fucking rough.
It's hard, man.
Yeah.
Like, you get that speed about you on the new shit, I guess, and then trying to go back. Yeah.
You had to drive a lot more cautiously and defensively on SNES.
To me, it's just like playing a new first-person shooter with how fluid and fast and all they are, and expecting you get decent at that, and expecting going back to GoldenEye.
Yeah.
And it being, like daylight and dark, essentially. Yeah. Well, do you want to, before we go, like Bill said, you can call us and suggest a game to us.
Yeah.
And that means you should call us. Because if you don't call us, a triage, well, not more than triage, just a bunch of bad shit's going to fucking happen. A plethora. A cornucopia of damnation, if you will.
Yeah.
For those of you who haven't called the show, a warning. If you do not call, you will awaken Satan. An infant shall fall from the sky. Bears will feast on the slow and the witless. Vaginas will turn to stone. Serpents rise from the ground. Fly into your sphincter and bite. Demons will travel back in time and rape your father. Hell, Satan! You've been warned.
That you have. Don't let it happen to you. We're just a phone. Salvation is just a phone call away. At 682-777-GOOD. Leading authority of your salvation. Call us. We don't ask you to donate money neither, but if you would like to, you can. Before we close out this week, there's something that we don't plug that I do want to plug because every little bit's nice. We have a fucking swag store.
GoodOleGamers.com/swag.
If you want to look good and feel good, hey, we got some clothes you can do it in. We got t-shirts. We got long sleeve shirts.
I actually reduced
hoodies.
The prices on everything to where we don't get a damn dime. So,
yeah, we weren't making really shit off of it anyways. But
yeah, and
it's nice seeing somebody just
keeps hiking up their prices. And I'm like, fuck, no one's going to pay this much money for a goddamn shirt. I'm
the hoodies like $45.
Yeah.
I want a hoodie, but something just irks the fucking shit out of me about having to pay $45 for my own hoodie. Yeah. I'm like, shouldn't you be paying me? Like, but you want that ass index to go up, get you a Good Ole Gamers shirt. They're the hottest thing on the market right now. Yeah. We have plenty. We also have...
You'll have to wear suspenders because we'll be wading through so much pussy.
Yeah, dude. We also have Good Ole Gamers scuba suits available for all that cooge you're swimming through. Oh, you know it. All your game controller buttons are going to be sticky by the time it's over with.
Gonna be moist and ready.
Yep, and wanting. Well, next weekend is the big shebiggy bang.
Big 100.
100. So,
and we were like 3 cunt hairs away from having a video.
We had it
tonight.
somewhat running tonight.
There's a couple hiccups, and we decided, fuck, it's getting late. So, it's coming.
It's the downfall of having to go to work at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Time runs out very easily.
Yeah.
And it's fucking lame.
Been the story of my life here. Time's run out.
Yep.
It's flying by so fast, it won't be long before time's run out.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the bad thing, because it's actually running the fuck out.
Yeah.
Oh, every day is another step to the cold embrace of death that we're all going to face.
Can't wait.
Happy podcast, guys.
Yeah.
What a way to end double digits here. It's okay, though. Well, I guess we'll be back at you next week. You can find us at goodolegamers.com.
New and improved.
New and improved. You can hit us up at podcast at goodolegamers.com.
Or Lyle or Brandon.
Lyle or Brandon.
At goodolegamers.com.
Call us.
Facebook us.
Listen, like, share, all that stuff.
Tweeter us.
Yeah. We all own it. We all around.
Yeah, I check it once every couple months, so.
That's the
yeah.
That's how Twitter works.
Yeah.
Dude, Twitter's been out for 10 years now. I still don't really know how to fucking tweet or anything, and I'm fine with that.
You form a thought, reduce it to the smallest, most retarded version you can, and then you type it.
Which hand do I hold my Starbucks in?
Either.
Hold it with my Johnson.
That's probably solid.
Yeah.
In fact, you should probably just rub that all over your phone, and whatever happens to type, that's probably as good as a tweet as you can get.
I'm going to smear some of that Bill Nye's gender fluid I got.
There you go. Yeah.
Make my phone a little more androgynous.
Yeah.
For what reason, I don't know, but it's not like my phone has to differentiate where it's going to go pop a squat at. But, anywho.
It matters.
It matters.
Somewhere
out there. Anyways, we'll be back next week.
Yep.
All that shit. Game over, man.
Game over. God damn it.